I like to think we're friends.
Okay, let's do it. Go
All
live.
right, here we go. We are live.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Ken. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just sharing this out. Don't
Oh,
judge.
nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's always good to be shared.
Yes, it
So
is.
I had this thought the other day, which is why I reached out to you, that like you're probably one of my favorite people to just sort of riff with. So this is just
Uh,
sort of an on the fly because I admire you. I admire the work that you do. I always try to catch your lives. I love how candid you are in your lives. Me, I try to be a little bit more rehearsed, a little bit more structured, I guess. But I'm really grateful that you said yes because I feel like we should be talking more about this topic. We're going to talk about mastering mindset today and
okay.
imposter syndrome because that
Yes.
seems to plague us as entrepreneurs and anyone really who's doing something out of their comfort zone. Um, so
I
that's what
don't feel like I belong here.
you
I'm
don't
just
you
kidding.
don't why not?
I'm just trying to be ironic to the topic.
You belong here.
I just figured out why remember I said we're not friends. And you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, we are.
we are
I,
friends.
I was I was looking you up from my fan page. So I shared it to both. There we
Well,
go.
that's so sweet because I know you have a lot of people who value you, which is awesome.
Well, thank you. So yeah, let's talk about it. Are
Talk,
we on
well,
Clubhouse too?
we are. We
Oh
are, man.
God.
We're in Clubhouse, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on Facebook.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go share this on Clubhouse too then.
Wow. It's under my club in
Uh-oh. Am
Club
I tagged in it?
Mental Health Michelle is my
Am
club.
am I tagged? Am I tagged in it?
No, I probably did that wrong. Probably did that wrong. Yeah, probably. It's
Okay, so everybody watching, do me a favor and share this out and go to Clubhouse and share this out and go everywhere and share this out. If you're on LinkedIn, share this out. There is a share button on LinkedIn.
awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
Ken,
very much.
so for people who don't know who you are, I always start off my conversations asking people to tell us who you are, where you live, what you do, all of that. So they know who is on Michelle's Conversations That Matter.
Okay. I'm trying to share this though on Clubhouse. Oh, there it is. There it is. Hang on. I see it. No. Yes. No. That's not it. Okay, so I'll have to figure that out later. My name is Ken Walls, and I am. Do you ever see the movie The Jerk?
Yes.
Steve Martin.
Yeah.
It starts out. He's like, "I was born a poor black child," but I've always wanted to start out a speech like that. But anyway, no, I am the CEO and founder of Client Solution Innovations. We are a web development and marketing firm. I've been in technology and web development for 28 years. Um, I have I'm a speaker. I've written 3 books, co-authored 4 others, and I'm working on another one currently. Um, and yeah, I just, I'm out here doing my thing, helping people, hopefully changing the world.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. And I learned a lot from you about podcasting, which is and StreamYard. You were an amazing teacher.
Thank you.
Um, so I wanted to pick your brain because I have friends who want to start podcasts, who want to do live stream. So the first thing I want to do is pick your brain and say, hey, Ken, what are the top 3 common mistakes that us podcasters or live streamers do?
Number one mistake is overthinking it. Overthinking.
Oh,
So many people, hey, Ian Levine, did I say it right?
yeah.
Levine, or is it
Levine.
Levine?
I think
Levine.
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 Hi, Ian.
So sorry, Ian. So overthinking is the number one mistake. Not because what happens is we get into um, paralysis by analysis. We got to analyze. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be blah, blah, blah. I've been there, done it. bought the t-shirt and wore it out. And now I just go. I just go.
Mhm.
Do I make a plan? Somewhat. Is it perfect? Never. Do I? It's like when we started this, everybody's like, well, I'd rather have you prim and proper and ready to. No, I'm sharing this out, man. Like, just being, um, just go.
Mhm.
So, you said I have a lot of friends that want to live stream, that want to
Yeah, do a
that
podcast.
want to podcast, and what's stopping them? I
Probably
mean, seriously,
feeling
what
like
is
you don't
stopping
have
them?
enough. I think in the one case, I feel like my one friend just it doesn't feel like they have all the information, all the equipment, all the
Right.
knowledge, everything they need to know. I don't know.
So they need to join Grow Live Academy.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Grow Live Academy is something that I created. Listen, I my very first guest was, bless you,
Thank you.
was my very first guest on my show was Jeffrey Gitomer's wife. Jeffrey Gitomer is the author of The Little Red Book of Selling, which is the #1 best-selling sales book on planet Earth. And his wife was my very first guest. And
Mm,
I didn't have an intro video. I didn't know what I was doing. I just said, hey, I'm going to do a show. Would you like to be on? She said, sure. And I go, okay, great. She said, what are we going to talk about? I said, let's talk about your book and sales. She's like, okay, cool. Because she wrote a book called Sales in a New York Minute. And so I had her on, and I literally went live. She was on screen with me. I didn't have an intro, none of that. I just said, and we're live. And that was it. So I've done over 3,000 live streams now. And the very first time I went live, Michelle, I was terrified. I mean, terrified. I thought,
yeah.
what if an ex-girlfriend gets on, or ex-wife, or whatever, a hater, or somebody that, and all the above has happened. and
Oh, wow.
and I lived, and nothing bad happened. And sometimes people say dumb things in the comments because keyboard warriors, but you just go. You
No,
just keep going, because I mean, what's the alternative?
right.
If you don't do it, you can keep living life the way you're living. And Grant Cardone said it many, many times, and I use him as a reference a lot, so you'll hear
Yeah.
me say his name a lot. And
Yeah.
it's because he changed my life. he
Let's
he
talk
asked.
about that. How does Grant Cardone, someone over here, way over here, like in a different planet, how does he change Ken Wall's life?
I sat in his office with him for 3 hours, and I won a trip on his private jet. Another long story. But when they called to schedule him to fly into Columbus, Ohio to pick me up, I said, I'd rather just fly down there myself on my dime and sit with Grant and pick his brain. And, I don't know what it saved him in jet fuel costs, but probably $20,000, $30,000, I would imagine. And they were elated and said, absolutely, that'd be wonderful. And so I flew down there. Grant gave me, it was 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. I don't know. I was kind of numb. But he had lunch catered in. We sat at his desk and had a conversation about a lot of things. But one of the things he asked me is, what are you hiding from?
Hmm.
And I said, I'm in your office, dude. Nothing, like nothing. And he's like, you are too. And starts pointing out things like on my Facebook page, and back then Twitter, which is kind of irrelevant now, but and all of these other places. And he's like, dude, what do you want? And I'm like, well, I'd like a private jet, like Like, I'd like to have one someday, you know? And he said, then you've got to get out of obscurity. You've got to let people know who you are. You've
Mhm,
got to get yourself out there. And and so that day changed my life. That
mhm,
day I was like, you know what? I am going to give it everything I have all the time. All the time. And I'm going to post so much and do so many live streams that people unfriend me. And and it happens.
really.
Oh yeah, I get unfollowed and unfriended all the time. And I'm like pretty indifferent about it because there are literally thousands of friend requests I have sitting in my friend request box. So like,
Mhm,
you don't like what I have to say, leave. I don't care. Like,
mhm,
go
mhm.
do your thing. Go do you, boo. You know?
Was it before the encounter with Grant that you were sort of playing small? Is that what
I
you're
mean,
saying?
I thought I was playing big. I had a stronghold on the web development market in Columbus, Ohio. I was number one in Google for anything you typed around website development or whatever, and I really thought I had it going on. But I didn't. I
Mhm,
really didn't have it going on. I guess I had blinders on. And once you realize that you are a ginormous spiritual being having this human experience and that you're capable of anything, then you know all anything is possible.
mhm,
Anything becomes possible one, but it starts in the mind first.
mhm, mhm.
It starts there first.
Wow, that's awesome. So, speaking of mind, you're going to parlay us right into our topic, mastering our mindset. Um, so, what comes up a lot is imposter syndrome in the entrepreneur space, right? Because a lot of us are sort of brand new entrepreneurs trying to figure it out, trying to fake it till you make it, some people like
Yeah.
to say. So, what do you say about that? What do you say about imposter syndrome as an entrepreneur or as someone who's struggling with that?
Who was it that invented the light bulb? Was it Edison?
Think so.
Alexa, who invented the light bulb? Yeah, it was Edison. Alexa, stop. So you looked at yours too.
I
I
know. I'm
thought
like,
it
you
was
started
Edison.
off.
I don't know why my brain's not working. But so there's how you overcome imposter syndrome. You ask your Alexa device and she helps you through it. No, look, I can you imagine Thomas Edison and how much of an idiot he felt like.
Wait, sorry.
Oh, there's the little corgi.
I know you.
Um, I wonder if my wife's watching right now. She would. Oh, anyway. So, can you imagine the level of imposter syndrome Edison felt when he made 900 whatever it was attempts to invent the light bulb and screwed it all up and couldn't figure it out, kept making mistakes. People said you're an idiot, you're going to kill somebody or yourself, and he just kept going and he
Right.
kept going and he kept going, and eventually he figured it out. And so that's the thing about being an entrepreneur. We're not right in the head. There's something wrong with us. Like, I really believe that most real entrepreneurs are a little bit crazy,
A little bit.
a little bit.
You
And
think?
I think that's okay. It's the entrepreneurs that look at Steve Jobs,
Yeah.
look at Elon Musk. I mean, talk about a whack job, and yet here he is changing the world.
Right. Right. I think a lot of us feel like I feel like the biggest challenge we have is our comparison to other people, right? We are looking at other people who might be doing something similar to what we're doing, whether we're looking at it on social media or LinkedIn or other platforms, and we're seeing other people and we're starting to go, oh, well, I'm not quite that good, or the inner dialogue starts to take over, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest part that, at least for me, that I have to suspend. Like, stop looking at other people who might be in the same space, because all that does is it freaks me out almost a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy. And I mean, and that's a cute saying, but at the end of the day, everybody does it. We all do it. We all compare ourselves to others. We all look at that nice car, that private jet, that vacation, that whatever, and we think, man, if only I could have that. And at the end of the day, it comes down to doing the inner work. One of my books it's on Amazon is called the 10-minute mastery journal. And I wrote this journal, created and wrote this journal to help people learn how to manifest anything that they want in life. And it starts with, I had Brian Tracy on my show, the inimitable Brian Tracy,
Mhm.
who's a legend and an amazing human being. And him and I talked a little bit about, the goals and getting what you want out of life. And he kept saying, write it down, write it down, write it down. You got to write it down. And people, including myself, I wish I could say I was perfect at it and very disciplined, but I'm not perfect at it. But
Right.
when I realize, oh, I didn't write my goals for a couple of days, or I haven't written any positive affirmations, or I haven't, written my gratitudes, and, I get out my journal, which is right next to me most of the time, and I start writing inside here. I start writing my stuff, and that's what I designed it for. Probably more for selfish reasons than to sell it reasons. I
Mhm.
don't even know how many I've sold, but like, I use that thing, and it because here's the thing.
Mhm.
Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about
I
the
love
average human being. I love him too.
him. So good.
And he talks about the average human being having 60, 70,000 thoughts a day.
Okay.
And that of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts, 90 or 95% of them are the same exact thoughts that we had yesterday.
Right.
And there, it's proven now, scientifically proven, that 50% or more of the thoughts, the stories that we're telling ourselves, are made up. They're lies. They're lies.
Yeah.
It's not even true. We're having these conversations in our head about something that happened, or and we embellish the facts. I know,
Yeah.
I went I've been through that so many times, like, or the a friend of mine used to say, dude, turn your projector off, it's broken. Like, stop projecting all that negativity into your life. And so I do a lot of that. The positive affirmations are huge. A friend of mine, Damien Boudreau, one time said, write down 60 positive affirmations about yourself, and they all have to be adjectives, no adverbs.
Mhm.
And I said, okay. And I said, no problem. He said, text it to me, and I'll call you afterwards. I said, it'll be about 30 minutes or so. And I wrote 17, and I couldn't think of anything else.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I thought I had this. What the
Right.
heck? I can't think
Mhm.
of anything else. And, it was a week later or something that he called me. He's like, dude, I haven't heard from you. Where's that list? And I said, well, I only got 17. He starts laughing. And so, and he's ended up sending me a cheat sheet. But at the end of the day, it's our thoughts that are controlling our emotions,
Yeah.
and our emotions are controlling our actions, and our actions dictate the results that we bring into our life.
Right.
And so if my thoughts are all this negativity, and I get caught up on Will Smith smacking somebody, and I get into all the what the media wants me to get into. The
Yeah.
media wants me sucked in. They want me going, oh yeah, the world's going to hell in a handbag. Here we go. And that's what they want.
I know. It's
That's
true.
how they sell more commercials
Yeah, it's
and
so
make more
true.
money. Is
It's
if
true.
you and I are sucked in and we're sharing it on social media and we're talking about it on Clubhouse and we're doing all of these things,
Yep.
that's what they want. That's
Yeah.
what they want. One of the largest Clubhouse rooms on Clubhouse is one I see Grant Cardone in a lot. And I go in there and listen just because I think it's hilarious. But, they're in there discussing the news,
Unbelievable.
debating the news. And
Wow.
I'm like, it's brilliant on their side, but because they draw huge numbers as a result of people want to go in and chop it up about the news. Did
Yeah.
did you hear about the and instead of focusing on all of the negativity in life, there's plenty of that. There's
Right.
plenty of it. People need to learn how to focus more on gratitude and positivity. And I see Wendell says journaling is a great tool. It is a fantastic tool that will change anybody's life if they learn how to do it and do it right, and write down gratitude statements and write down I am positive affirmation statements,
Mhm.
write down goals that are big enough to scare the crap out of you.
Mhm.
Like, do you have a private jet on your goal list? Do you have that? And you laugh about it, and
True.
I do too, but it's on my goal list. It's
Mhm.
on my goal list.
It
I
is.
want a private jet, and I know exactly which one I want. So,
Wow.
what is on your goal list? And because I truly believe that every single human being on this planet has a strong enough unconscious mind to draw to them anything that they really are focused on unconsciously.
Hmm. Yeah. The one thing I wanted to go back to, you mentioned Joe Dispenza. You started to go down the track of that we have the same negative thoughts that replay in our head day after day after day. He also
Yeah.
talks about our ability to create new neural pathways
Yeah.
by these practices, these gratitude practices and affirmations,
Yeah.
and what we focus on expands.
Yep.
I think that was where you were going before we went.
Well, I thought I summed that up, but I mean, it is what we focus. And that's another thing. We can go watch What the Bleep Do We Know on Amazon or wherever, right? Which is a positive movie. We can watch The Secret. We can watch, there's a movie Grant Cardone was in, my friend Sharon Lecter was in, called Think and Grow Rich, the
Mhm,
movie.
mhm,
It's Tagger, Tagr, the movie, and it's a phenomenal movie, and it's all about how to think first and grow rich.
mhm.
Napoleon Hill.
Right.
So again, garbage in, garbage out,
Yeah,
GIGO, right? Garbage in, garbage out. So if you're feeding your mind with garbage, you're
yeah.
feeding your mind with all the negativity of the world, and people are like, I on like back when we had the lockdowns, I didn't even know we were in lockdown when we were in lockdown. Had no idea. I
Yeah,
saw something on social media, and my wife said something to me about it. I'm like, what? We're
yeah.
in what? For what?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like we have a what going on? A what? And so, you know, I don't focus on that stuff. I can't.
Yeah.
My look, I had a significantly difficult childhood, and I didn't graduate high school. I walked out in 12th grade because they wanted me to have a biology credit. I'm like, I hate biology. I don't want a biology credit. And they're like, well, you have to have one to graduate. And I'm like, I aced trigonometry, analytic geometry, algebra 1, algebra 2, and calculus, but I have to have a biology credit. That's stupid. I quit and I walked out.
Wow.
And which it is stupid.
Mhm.
That's something else. But again, I decided at 20, 21 years old that I'm going to educate myself. And then
Mhm.
years later, I heard that Jim Rohn said, a formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. And I was like, that's so true.
It's
It's
so
so
true.
true. And I'm like, you go, Jim. And but like, like, and that's it. Like, what are you feeding your mind with? What I
Right.
have stacks of books next to me because people do send me their books a lot that want to be on my show.
Mhm.
All of these books I've read, every single one of those. Like, what are you feeding your mind with? What are
Yeah.
you feeding your mind with? I'm not saying I don't watch Netflix. I watch Netflix. I love watching Netflix once in
Mhm.
a while. But
Mhm.
I also get my stuff done, meaning I read every day.
Yeah.
Every single day of my life, I'm reading something positive, filling my mind with positivity.
Right.
What are you feeding your mind with? And are you lying to yourself about it?
Right.
That's another big one. But
Right.
anyway, sorry. I
No,
could go.
I know. No, no, it's great. It's great because, I'm constantly talking to people about this whole idea of imposter syndrome. And the one thing that my coach shared with me early on was you gotta make sure you change two things if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. You change the circle of friends that you're with, right? Because being surrounded by people in a corporate world as an entrepreneur, it's just like it doesn't add up. So surround yourself with other like-minded, ambitious entrepreneurs, and then get your head straight. You have to have your head straight, and those two things were instrumental. And then I was diving into audiobooks because I
Mhm.
knew if I don't have this flat, I'm never going to go for the goals that I have because I'm constantly going to be second guessing myself,
Yep.
comparing myself, giving up. It's very easy when things go, awry in this space to just be like,
Yep.
oh, do I even have what it takes? Like we really do. We challenge our own capacity, our own abilities easily.
Yeah.
If we're not careful, we'll take ourselves out of the game. So I think it's super important what you're saying. We have to be feeding our mind good stuff and surround ourselves, like Wendell just said, your circle of friends. Yep, perfect.
When I had Brian Tracy on the show, Brian said, and this is huge. People, this is a big one that people miss. I'm still trying to figure out how to share this on Clubhouse. I can't find it on Clubhouse, and it's making me crazy.
Oh,
Um, let's see, member of. If I go here to your club, into club, it's a great song. So sorry, my brain's going a million
it's
different
okay.
directions. But
It's
Brian Tracy said, um, you know, and this is huge. This is huge. Take responsibility for your life. And I mean everything in your life. Jack Canfield wrote a book with Janet Schweitzer called The Success Principles. The very first principle that they wrote about, out of I think 67 of them, is take 100% responsibility for everything in your life. It's the first principle for a reason. Okay.
yeah,
And then Brian Tracy brings it up on my show, and he says, the moment, and this is tweetable. This one line, I'll never forget him saying this. The moment that we take responsibility for our lives is the moment we cross over from being a child to an adult. And there are 80-year-old people walking the face of this planet that are still children. They refuse to take responsibility. They want to blame everything and everyone out there. They want everybody else to be the problem.
yeah,
Joe Biden is the problem. Donald Trump is the problem. The economy is the problem. The gas prices are the problem. I can't get pork chops anymore. They're too much. I can't, like, whatever it is. I don't know. I see these memes and
yeah,
stuff on social media, and I'm like, that's not the problem. You are the problem. And when you can get your butt up, I stop myself and go to the bathroom and look in the mirror and say, you, dude or dudette, you are the problem.
yeah,
You're the reason your life sucks. Nobody else's fault.
yeah,
I have been down the road of abuse, physical, mental, spiritual, sexual, everything that you can imagine. And I blamed everything and everyone for a long time when I
Mhm.
said, you know what? My life sucks. It really is horrible. And it's my fault. That is the moment that my life changed.
Mhm.
When I said, I'm not going to continue blaming other people. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to be resigned about things and focus out there, and and when that changes out there, then I'll be okay, or when that gets better, then I'll be okay. And we give up our power when we do that to other people to be
Yep.
able to dictate. So I love what you're saying. It resonates.
But I mean, and it's not it's not just some kind of woo woo, so many people like, if I said to you, Michelle, how'd you like to make $1 million this year? Would you be excited about that?
A little bit.
Yeah. And if I said I can guarantee you $1 million in income this year, but you're going to have to do something for it.
I'd be like, what?
Where did your mind just go? What was your first thought, right? You're like, "What?" Well,
What?
for $1 million. But here's the thing. Our first thought is almost always negative,
It is.
right? What if I just said, "Well, you just have to walk 5 miles a day." If you just go walk this 5 miles a day every day, no matter what, rain, sun, shine, snow, doesn't matter. You walk 5 miles a day. At the end of 1 year, I will give you $1 million. Would you do it?
Probably.
Probably.
I would totally do it. Come on.
I mean, geez, right? But that's the thing is immediately our brain starts going, yeah, but what am I going to have to do? And 5 miles, why can't it be 4.5? And right. Or, what if there's lightning out, or what if it's a blizzard, and, we like start projecting all of this craziness. Living right now.
Yeah.
Right now, there's no blizzard out there. Right now, there's no bolts of lightning shooting down. Right now, you could go walk 5 miles.
Mhm.
Excuse me. So when opportunity is presented to most people, immediately the brain starts thinking of all the reasons why they can't do it.
Right.
What's the catch?
Right.
Sounds too well. Mom always said, if it sounds too good to be true, it
Right.
probably is.
Yeah.
Right. Which is all just a bunch of pro in the book, The Four Agreements.
Yeah, I love
In
that
the
book.
beginning of that book, he talks about the programming of the human. And we are all programmed. Every single one of us are programmed by other people.
Yeah.
You're not having your own thoughts most of the time, and that sucks.
Right. Right.
But you can change that.
Yeah.
Anybody can change that.
And that's key. I think people need to recognize that. That's key. I want to go back to what you shared before,
Okay.
because I want to learn about what you learned from Grant Cardone for 2 hours.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
A nugget, maybe 2 nuggets?
When you're going through hell, stomp on the gas. I remember him saying that. He's like, my mom always said, if I'm going through hell, stomp on the gas. Um, you know, the other thing is you've got to be willing to put yourself out there. Money follows attention. Grant said that, and he's said that many, many times. Excuse
Hmm.
me. Money follows attention. And from a very young age, we're taught that children are to be
Seen and not heard.
right,
Right.
right, and
Mhm.
money doesn't grow on
Trees.
right, right, and money is hard to
Come by.
right, right. So
It's
we're
true.
taught all of these things, And none of us, very few of us rather, do anything to reprogram the mind. We just go, we see a guy like Ken Walls on, or Michelle on, and they're talking about all these wonderful concepts, and get excited in the moment, and they're typing in. I love that Wendell and Ian are typing in some of the, that's awesome. Thank you for
Yeah.
repeating that.
Yeah.
But is it going to become part of who you are, or is it just going to be something you typed on a screen on a live stream one time? You
Yeah.
got maybe a little excited listening to Grant Cardone, or listening to whoever. It doesn't matter who it is,
Right.
right? But
Right.
you get excited about something, and then you stay stuck in the same bullshit crap stuff,
Yeah.
right? You stay
Yeah.
stuck there. You're like, man, that was great. That dude was awesome. She was awesome. He was great. Blah, 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 blah. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a multimillionaire. I want a private jet. I want to drive a Rolls Royce. I want to, whatever it is, I want to feed the hungry. I want to be like my brother Jay Noland, who has a school set up in Africa. And I have other friends, Rami El-Batrawi, who's a multi-billionaire that's literally digging wells and getting clean water into some of these places in Africa and other parts in third world countries. And you know, what is it that you're going to change? Are you going to keep doing the same crap? Or are you going to really put concerted effort into making a change? You know,
Right.
we talked originally about podcasting and what's holding people back. What's holding people back are the BS stories that you're telling yourself. That's it. There's nothing else. There is an entire universe of podcasters out there. I happen to be in the top 1% of them, but I'm going to, and that's, look, it's not luck. I
Yeah.
worked my freaking butt off to get there. I mean, I've interviewed over 400 celebrities and entrepreneurs. I have worked hard to get there. It wasn't luck. It was a lot of hard work. And now I'm getting to a place where I can almost call anybody and say, hey, would you like to be a guest on my show? And so, you know, you've got to change it's the mindset. My gosh, the mindset is so important. It's the most important thing.
Right. And you said earlier, I mean, like the way that people, so say someone is listening and they're like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to be all fired up from this conversation, listening to you, very inspiring, blah, blah, blah. But the actions, the daily tangible actions that you mentioned before, like having a journal, writing down, focus, being aware of where your attention is going.
Yep.
Like I always tell people, don't let your brain be like the plastic bag blowing in the wind. You actually have to be the one that says, no, my attention goes this way, not that way.
Yep.
And practices, right? Daily practices, things that are going to keep you in that positive vibration and that energy.
You know Glenn Morshower.
I do.
One of my best friends in the world. He's a Hollywood actor. He's been in 260 movies and TV shows. And he was texting me pictures yesterday from what he's currently doing. And you know, he says, he talks about intention a lot. And there's a great book that he's teaching in his acting school. I'm reading. I'm going to reread. I think I might even start some sort of a mastermind study group on this thing. But I don't do free masterminds, by the way. So if anybody ever wants to join, they would have to pay. But here's the thing: is this book talks about? It's called The Power of Decision. And when you make a decision, can you imagine? I don't know. Let's think of let's use a sports analogy. Can you imagine? I'm friends with C. Grant. He's a buddy of mine that played for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and he played for the New Orleans Saints. And he was good at getting in and taking down the quarterback, big time. And but can you imagine, you know, the ball right before the ball is snapped, sees on the defensive line or playing defense. I think he was I forget the position. Anyway, whatever. He was responsible to go after the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But and I can't believe I can't think of the position name. But he, can you imagine that if right before the ball was snapped, he had the thought, boy, I sure hope I can get in there and get after that guy. Boy, I sure hope this big guy on the offensive line doesn't hurt me, or you know what I mean, or a professional major league baseball player stepping up to the plate, going, "Man, I hope I don't get hit by the pitcher,"
Yeah.
or "Geez, I sure." Golly, gee whiz! I hope I can hit a ball here. People don't professionals don't do that.
Right.
They have an intention. The intention is I'm going to knock the cover off that ball when it comes to my bat. The intention is it's about setting your intentions. Dr. Wayne Dyer talked
Mhm.
about that, the
Yeah.
power of intention.
Yeah.
And so, what are your intentions? What are your goals? Most people have none.
Yeah.
And that's something else that's incredibly powerful that Grant Cardone taught me, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to hear it?
Of course.
Are we running out of time?
We have a few more minutes.
A few?
We have,
How long is this?
as long
That's
as you
it?
want me. I don't care.
We can go till 10 o'clock tonight.
No,
I don't care.
I got to work out. I got things to do. Okay.
Oh, see, excuses. I'm kidding. So Grant said, write your goals down twice a day,
Twice a day.
2 times a day, once in the morning, once at night. He goes, here's the thing. The
Wait,
average
short-term goals or long-term goals?
goals. Do you have goals?
Well, I mean, a jet versus I'm going to get 3 proposals out the door.
They should be on the same goal list. Why
How
not?
is a jet realistic? For
Oh,
today.
we're going to break through. We're going to do some breakthroughs with Michelle today. Yes. I knew I could get her to mess up. I'm just kidding. So listen.
That's great.
You're awesome. So listen, just think about something for a minute. The average person may write their goals once a year.
Right.
Maybe New Year's Day or the day after their hangover's gone. Right. So they're going to write their goals down for, man. And think about this. Think about all the people on January 1st of 2020 that were like, and you saw it all over Facebook everywhere. 2020 is going to be my year. Look out. I'm kicking you in the ass. I'm coming for you. Here we go. And bam, market, and whoa, what just happened? And so, but I want you to think about this. And this is from Grant, and he's right. And I'll expand on this a little bit, but if the average person writes their goals down once a year, and then they fold them up, put them in a drawer somewhere, maybe go back and review them towards the end of the year to see how pathetic their life is because they haven't really, I know I didn't accomplish those goals. And they go back and they look and they're like, oh, maybe I got a few of them. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. Didn't get that private jet, and didn't really increase my income by 500%, but maybe next year I'll write them down again in January and we'll do it again. And then you've got somebody like me that writes their goals in the morning and writes their goals at night. Top 10 goals. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. I want a jet. I want a house on the beach in Miami. I want, or wherever. I want to make $100 million this year. I want to, help however many people you want to help, feed them. I want to be able to pull into a gas station like I did the other day with my little girl and hand somebody $100 for their gas. I want to be able to do that. And I do it. But like, I don't just want to do it. I do it. And because I also know the principles of giving, but if I write my goals down 730 times in 1 year, and you've written yours once, who has a better shot at attaining their goals, you or me?
Well, obviously, writing them down a lot is going to
No,
be
no, no, just who has
not
a
me,
better
not the
shot?
one that does it once a year. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
If 730 times, what is your unconscious mind going to be focused on? It's going to
Uh,
be focused on what you want. It's going to be focused on your goals. And it's going to make your body and your words and your mouth do things to help you accomplish your goals.
all right then. Oh, it's
You know,
on.
Grant said, he says, when he goes, I have losses, I have things go wrong, I have crap hit the fan. And he goes, if I he's and he was talking, I heard him talking about losing an $80 million deal, $80 million deal.
Wow.
And he's like, and you know what I did? Yeah, I got pissed off. I was really upset about it. So what I did is I went and grabbed my goals book, and I started writing my goals in that afternoon.
Oh,
In the middle of the day, I just started writing my goals because I don't want to get caught up in the negativity that my brain wants me to get caught up in. And I lost that $80 million deal. I must be a loser. I must be this. I da 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 da. No, I'm going to write my goals down because I want my brain to focus on my intentions and what it is that I want to create for my life. People blame God. God's indifferent. God doesn't care. God just wants you to be a loving, good person. God doesn't care if you hit your goals or not.
yeah.
And that's a whole nother topic we could discuss. I don't want to get, it's not, for me, it's not like I never debate this stuff. I don't
Yeah.
debate this with people. This is why sales teams have sales boards. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
what they've accomplished,
Michelle,
literally.
your goal for the month is 25 units, and it is the 30th, and you are at 17. You got some work to do
Get some.
today.
Yeah.
You've only got today and tomorrow, Michelle, to hit your goal.
Yeah.
You got to come up with 8 units. How are you going to do it?
Yeah.
And your brain then is going to go, um, okay, I got to figure this out. I got to do 4
Yes.
today, 4 tomorrow. Like, and then it starts going to action. Like it starts thinking of ways and attracting things automatically from the
Yeah.
world and the universe that make your goals become a reality because you're focused on them all the time.
Yes. Wow. That's awesome. I don't like it's so good. This is so good. This listen, I'm getting a lot out of this and I'm the one that's here with you. These people are just watching. I'm sitting here going, "Oh my god, every day, twice a day, 10 top 10 goals and I'm including the jet."
You
Just
know
saying.
what? If it's not a jet, it could be whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't and this is something else is never, ever, 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 never, ever lower your target. Ever. If things go wrong, and they do for
Mhm.
people, they go for everybody.
Mhm.
Am I seeing your dog
Yeah,
back
there's
there?
two. There's two. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Oh,
There's some kind of something back there. It could be a
did
toy.
the cat throw up? I'm kidding.
There's no cat.
So
There's no cat.
that's like up my house. Like the cat puked again. Um, so because the dogs are gathered around it, like anyway, anyway,
Too much
uh,
information.
yeah, I know. Trust me. Um, but I think that people will like they're afraid to think too big
Yeah.
because of their programming.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
have to activate the reticular activated system in our brain. 1000%. Ian is correct.
Yeah. It's great. Really great.
1000%. So, when I say, do you want a private jet? If somebody gave you a private jet and you knew you had the money to maintain it and put fuel in it and pay the pilots, would you take it?
Oh my god, yes. Are you
Of course
kidding?
you would. I mean,
But you know
how
what?
freaking cool.
But you know what? To your point, I was playing small and saying one day I want to ride on a Learjet. I didn't actually say I'm going to own a jet. I just said one day maybe somebody will give me a ride in the Learjet.
What do you fly ever? Do you ever fly anywhere?
Yeah, well, whenever. Yeah, like vacations. Yeah.
Okay. And be honest, do you fly coach or first class?
Coach.
Have you ever flown first class?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a
It's
different world.
it's a completely it's totally different, right?
Yep, yep.
Why do you not fly first class every time?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Huh?
It's expensive.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Once you've
you're
flown,
a realistic answer.
once you've flown private,
Oh,
everything else is coach,
everything,
including first class. It's
including
coach.
your perspective is immediately changed.
It's completely different experience. It's not even comparable. There's no comparison, none, zero. But most people, you can afford $1,000 for an upgrade to freaking first class, but most people won't. Well, it's only a 2-hour flight. Spend the $1,000. Start thinking wealthy.
Yeah,
You gotta think different, man. If you're
yeah,
ever gonna have more in life, you've
yeah.
got to elevate your thinking to a different level. Otherwise, you're just protecting what you already have, and you're living in a very limiting mindset.
It is the scarcity versus abundant mindset, right?
Amen. 1000%. Yes.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know what? There are people who've never flown coach. I know some of them.
Oh, wow.
I have a buddy, Doug Wing, does not fly coach. He
Oh, wow.
doesn't. He may even be watching, but you know, he doesn't fly. He flies first class every single time. And I said, dude, get a private jet. What are you doing?
So do
And
you
so
think
he is.
so do
Anyway,
you think that you've pulled your goals to you closer through the practice of writing them twice a day?
1,000,000%. I've accomplished a lot of them because I wrote them. Listen, nothing amazing is ever accomplished in life. Nothing is ever accomplished in life by normal thinkers. Number one, the people that are creating great shit like Steve Jobs and and what the heck, Musk. What the heck's his first? Oh my
Elon.
Elon. Gosh, I kept wanting to say Eon. It's not Eon, but Elon Musk and love him or hate him, Donald Trump. Donald Trump did something that nobody's ever done in his nobody. And you know, and look, I mean, all of the different people that we see out here that are billionaires or you know mega millionaires, and we go, what is it they're not smarter? Have you ever seen a millionaire or billionaire talk that you were like, I really kind of feel like I'm smarter than that person? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what the difference is? They don't give a shit if you think that they're smarter
No, you're
than
not.
them. And
Right.
they don't overthink things. They take action.
Yeah,
They just go. They
yeah.
just go. And they figure it out along the way. And they have goals and they write them down a lot. And those goals change daily. I don't have the same goals on a piece of paper that I wrote the day before.
You don't. Oh, so
Not
you're
the
not
exact same goals. No, I add to, I hit some of them, so I don't write them anymore.
okay. Okay. Got it.
I
Okay.
write them every day, twice a day.
All right.
That's why I created this journal.
Okay.
In the morning, the daily manifestation journal. Write your top 5 goals or targets for the day. Write your top 10 gratitudes I am grateful for.
10.
Write your I am 10 I am positive affirmation statements. Right at the top of that page, what was your very first thought this morning? And be honest, what was the first thought? Because you're going to start focusing on what your first thought is so you can work on changing that, right? And
Right.
then in the evening, write your 5 wins, your successes for the day. Write down 5 things you're grateful for and write down 10 positive affirmations again and write your goals as well. 5. I'm only saying 5. You should be doing more than that. And there's room in that to write more. So and again, if it's not my journal, whatever, I don't care. Get a freaking notebook.
Notebook. Just
Get
do
a
it.
spiral bound notebook and write your stuff down twice a day, every day. And if you're feeling down, if you're down, troubled. Now, if you're feeling down, go to your notebook and write your goals down. Write down positive affirmations. The only way you can feel depressed, the only way, 1000%, the only way to feel depressed is to first have depressing thoughts. If you're feeling down, throw on some James Taylor and get your notebook out and write that shit down. Write down the positive you've got to. And if you don't have to, you can live the rest. See, here's the problem. Most people are born into this world. They're programmed by other people. They take on that programming for the rest of their lives. It becomes their inherent belief system. It's everything they believe in forever. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. I'm this. I'm that. I believe this. I believe that. Blah, 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 blah. They're having these conversations in their head. They may never even speak it out loud. It's all going on internally, which is controlling 95% of their life. Just like if I say to you, Michelle, tell me how many times your eyes has blinked in the last 56 seconds or minutes. How many times does your heart beat? How many breaths have you taken? You cannot answer that, and neither can anyone watching.
Yeah.
Because it's all happening unconsciously, just like the rest of your life is. And we just keep on going through life, never waking up to that fact, never. Or maybe we hear somebody talk about it and go, that guy's a freaking nut job, obviously. Look at his high forehead and short receding hairline. I mean, he's crazy. And then we blow it off and we move on with our life and we stay stuck in our bad thinking. And then eventually we die because hey, listen, we're all going to die. Nobody gets out alive.
Nobody.
You have right now until the date, your expiration date, whatever that is, to work on having a more abundant and fruitful life just by changing your thoughts.
I love that. I love that so much. You said earlier that we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
We are.
And you also said that we're bigger than we think we are as spiritual beings. And once we get that, that's huge too, right?
I think about things like my mom and dad were in a car accident in 1963 before I was born. And the car flipped like 15 times. And my mom and my dad were both ejected from the car. And my mom thought she couldn't find my dad. It was out in this field in the middle of, they went through a bad curve. And anyway, it was out in this field. She couldn't find my dad. And she was up and walking around looking for my dad. And she thought he was pinned underneath the car. And neighbors were running up to the scene. And she lifted this car. Now, back in 1963, they were solid steel. They were not. My mom lifted the car thinking my dad was under it. She had a superhuman experience in that moment because of adrenaline, lack of fear, just straight up had a superhuman. You hear about things like that all the time.
Yeah.
And you know, it's in that moment that superhumanness comes out, in those moments of incredible, deep desire. Like Napoleon Hill says, all success starts with desire, right? So when you have the desire to lift a car to see if a loved one is underneath that car, pinned underneath it, dying, you can do it.
Yeah.
But when you have thoughts about, well, I could have a private jet, your brain is on autopilot saying, no, you can't. No, you can't. People like you don't have private jets. And that's what the brain does over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
So we have to take responsibility for our brain trying to kill us and kill our dreams.
Yes.
That's all it's doing. It's trying to
That's right.
kill your dreams. And
Yeah.
it's nobody's fault. Okay, yeah, maybe your mom was a negative nanny or Nelly, or and your dad was mean and negative, and your teachers were all a bunch of jerks, and the priest or the rabbi or the whatever was, you know, okay, those are called circumstances. They happen to everybody. Everybody has a sad story. Wah, wah, wah. Get over it. Take responsibility for your life, for your thoughts, and do something about it. Get a private jet, for the love of God.
I love it. I could talk to you for hours. I just want you to know that. You're very inspiring, and actually a good kick in the butt, which is what I think I needed. And I know a lot of people watching are grateful with all the comments and engagement. So
Well, I'm very grateful for everybody. And Grow Live Academy, by the way, only has one O in it. I see it scrolling across the bottom.
oops.
So Grow Live. Listen,
Oh,
so we do this every Thursday evening. We have a coaching session. I have over 100 videos, training videos, and all of the coaching sessions in there. Next week, I have my friend Dr. Fab Mancini coming in. You've seen Dr. Fab on Dr. Phil. You've seen him on the TV show The Doctors. He
yeah.
wrote the book Chicken Soup for the Chiropractor's Soul. He's the most famous chiropractor in the world. He's a friend of mine, and he's agreed to come in and teach and he is inspirational. Oh my God.
Awesome.
But those are the kind of people I like to hang out with. Mark Victor Hansen, the #1 best-selling author of all time, is a friend of mine, and we do some business together. And like Chicken Soup for the Soul, he's sold over 500 or 600 million books. But those are the people I hang out with now, and that hasn't always been the case. I leveled up myself, my own thinking. I leveled myself up by going, you know what? I can do better. I can do better, and I'm going to do better, and I'm going to lose my excuses and all the BS, and I'm going to change my life. And then I'm going to go out and change other people's lives.
Amazing. You're amazing.
You're
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, for giving me
You're
all
welcome.
this time and all this wisdom, and for sharing yourself and
Thank you.
everything.
Thank
Thank
you for having me.
you. Of
Seriously. Thank
course.
you.
I'm so grateful to call you my friend.
Likewise.
Awesome,
Ditto.
Ken. All
You're
right.
awesome.
I'll let you go. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You want me to hang up?
I do, actually. I think we should. It's been an hour.
Been an hour and 3 minutes. Thank you, Wendell and Ian and Keith and everybody else. So, all right. Well, are you ending the live stream?
I am.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Bye.